Today we're with Elroy Agard. Elroy is a high-performance track and field coach at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex. How are you doing, Elroy?
Pretty good, actually.
Good. Elroy is going to be taking us through the clinics and workshops for the track portion to help get everyone ready for the Allmax Nutrition Fitness Extravaganza. Tell us a little bit about your background in track and field and fitness in general.
Track and field, I've been coaching for about 20 years.
20 years?
Yeah, that's about right.
Since you were 5 years old?
Yeah.
Right.
I also train level 1 IWF coaches
Okay.
for the IWF, and I've been teaching physical education for about 20 years actually. Yeah. So since then, I moved from primary school, 15 years in primary school, now in secondary school, and I've now been at the university for about the last 3 years.
Okay. Well, we want to thank you guys again for allowing us to use the brand new, spanking new Usain Bolt Sport Complex.
It's good to have such an event like this there actually.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect event for it. So now that we've had the speed event announced, either 60 meters, 80 meters, or 100 meters.
Okay.
And we know what the endurance event on the track is going to be on the Friday the 16th as well, which is the 800 meter or 1,000 or 1,200 meters.
Okay.
So we have an endurance event, we have a speed event. There's two completely different energy systems for those people who are into fitness.
Correct.
How would an athlete getting ready for the Allmax Fitness Extravaganza, how would they train for these events?
Well, they need to be able to put in anaerobic work and endurance work.
Right.
They will need to kind of schedule their week in such a way that they're able to do speed work, do endurance work, and in some sessions you actually want to do both.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Depending. It's a short time, but just about 2 months now.
About 2 months, for 3 months from when we announced, yeah.
Even when it comes to the endurance events, come on, the fastest person wins.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Okay. So not necessarily the fittest, but the fastest.
pretty much.
Right.
So what happens is that even if you're working on your 800 to 1,200 range, you still want to do some speed work.
Right.
Okay? But you want to be in a situation where you condition your body to be able to repeat speed and also to repeat some level of endurance.
Right. You're a former sprinter yourself.
Yeah.
Well, we say former, inverted commas, because I hear you're making a comeback.
Think about it.
Thinking about it. All right. So the clinics that we're going to have on Saturday mornings at Usain Bolt Sport Complex, led by yourself.
Yeah.
What sort of format are they going to take?
Well, my focus is going to be on one of the first things, because people are not generally athletes.
Right.
It's going to be some sort of awareness of injury prevention.
Okay.
So your warm-up is going to be a big thing first when it comes to preparing for training and also preparing for the event. So that's one of the things I'm going to focus on, how to warm up well, dynamic warm-ups.
Okay.
What kind of stretching is best, static versus dynamic,
Right.
and to just get your body ready to go.
Right.
When it comes to competing, whether it is a sprint event or an endurance event, one of the first things you want to do is to condition your muscles to handle intense work.
Right.
So your intense work would be that all-out max work that you're going to do. But in order to get to that point, you need to do moderate work.
Right.
Long moderate work. So whether you're sprinting or you're doing the distance, we're going to start progressively. We're going to go from more endurance type work
Right.
into more sprint work.
Okay.
To prepare your muscles then to be able to repeat sprint work.
Right.
Yeah. So, and if people are, I would guess people are doing both.
Well, they have to do it.
But if they're doing both, then the sessions pretty much are going to include both
Right.
speed and endurance work.
Right. So what sort of athlete, when I say athlete, not necessarily track athlete, but sports person, do you think is likely to do well in an event like this, in this competition like this?
Well, in a competition like this, you have to have some level of muscle endurance.
Right.
Right. You have to be eating well.
Right.
Because if you're not accustomed to eating well, a competition like this is kind of just training. Right. So you got to prepare yourself well, nutrition wise. I don't want to say necessarily. conquer the round before,
Right.
and prepare yourself mentally. And once you have that physical conditioning, once you have the heart, you can do well.
Right. So mental conditioning, having, that stick-to-itiveness,
Yeah.
as they call it, and then almost in order, then how fit you are is almost like everybody's going to be fit, right?
Yeah.
So that's almost like the least important thing, just how you are mentally and whether you have that drive to keep going.
Yeah, and then nutrition. Nutrition is going to be extremely important. How you feel before, during, and after
Right.
is going to be paramount to be able to get you through that day of competition.
Right. Well, luckily, we have some very good nutritional products, especially for during the exercise. Not that I'm plugging Allmax Nutrition, but they are our title sponsor, as well as Gatorade as well, and hydration.
What I would suggest that people start to do now is to practice,
Right.
actually practice the nutrition
Right.
for that day.
Okay.
What we do sometimes is that we have this philosophy that once you're doing exercise, you either, some people either don't take anything before,
Right.
they definitely don't take anything during,
Right.
and then they figure that everything they will take afterwards. But
Okay.
you got to prepare yourself to handle the work and to
Right.
endure through the work. So they need to be able to. Rehydration is very important.
Right.
So rehydrate before, during, and after, and they need to know that they have the right fuels in
Right.
for this. Carbohydrates is going to be very, very important in
Right.
carbohydrate stores, so they're going to need to deal with that before. So it's something that they need to practice.
Right. So in all my training, I should now be practicing almost as if it's competition day. I fuel before, I fuel during, and I have my recovery afterwards, as if I were going to be competing on that day.
Yeah, basically for performance, you want to simulate the performance conditions in your training.
Right.
So when we come together on Saturday, expect that what we do is going to kind of simulate that. So from your warm-up right now to your cool down and your nutrition before, after, during, I would be encouraging people to get that right then. Right? And they have a better chance than being acclimatized for that one day, that one event day.
Right. Okay. So got just a couple more questions. So typical guys who train in the gym, they tend to, be strong in one area. Some guys might be in the gym, they come, they do a 5-minute warm-up, and they're mostly lifting. So, they might be good with strength or muscular endurance. With this time frame, what would a guy need to do to start to be really competent, or at least average by the time he gets to October 17th with respect to the 2 track events?
Oh, okay. We still got to look at a proper endurance base.
Right.
So being able to repeat particular distances, whether it be 300s or whatever,
Right.
and try to be able to recover well
Right.
doing these sort of things. What you're looking at, I know strength, you got to keep your strength up.
Right.
So if they're lifting now, probably the order of lifting and running is something you got to look at and decide, the ratio, the volume.
Right,
of
right,
lifting and
right.
that
So if
sort of
I'm really strong on lifts, maybe I sacrifice a little bit of my strength training to improve my cardiovascular.
Definitely. What I basically look at is, hey, these are my weak points, these are my strong points. You
Right.
only have a couple months.
Right.
So what you want to do is to maintain your strong points, and you want to beef up on your weak points. So
Right.
you might come and you might realize that your speed is down, but then for you, I might give you a little more when it comes to the speed, whatever you're going to do, more 30s or whatever.
Right.
And if it is that your endurance base is down,
Right.
then you might have a little extra different type of something you do in order to get that up.
Okay.
2 months is a short time, but it can be adequate if we do things the right way.
Right. Okay. Any final words to encourage anyone who's thinking about taking part in the Allmax Fitness Extravaganza?
I was actually thinking about doing it myself. I think it's a great opportunity. I think is nice, something that I maybe watch this on the big screen a lot.
Right.
And I think it's great to have it here. I would say between now and then, I think the regularity of training
Right.
is going to be the key. Right. Once a week is not going to do it.
Okay.
So you need to set out the times that you're going to be doing your track work, your gym work, whatever, and make sure that you have at least more than 3 days a week that you're able to condition yourself.
Right.
Right? Because it's going to be a matter of simulating the the sort of conditioning that's necessary for that day. So if you do, if you
So you think that athletes may need to do 2-a-days between now and then?
oh, thank you.
Yeah? Some days they might need to do the strength in the morning.
The scheduling,
Uh-huh.
the scheduling of your workouts will be important, right? And 2-a-day will be important, and that will depend on nutrition or rest also, right? But 2-a-day would be great. If you only have 3 days a week,
Right.
I would suggest you're able to top up like that.
Right.
If you can do 4 to 5 days a week and it's 1 time a day, fine.
Right.
But more than 3 times a week for sure
Okay.
will definitely push you to that point where you're actually getting fitter every week. Anything less than that
Right.
probably will not.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you out there.
I'm thinking about it.
It's on camera. We heard you. Now you put it out in the universe. Now we expect to see you October 16th and 17th. I think you got a good. I did some 400s with Elroy the other day. Well, he was doing 4s when I was doing 3s.
Yeah.
It was not fun for me, by the way. And I think you could go out there and do something good, man.
Yeah, I'll think about it some more still. But I know getting back into training, and I get really excited about it.
Right.
So you never know. Those 400s, that was probably just excitement.
Right. All right, I'd like to thank you for coming out.
No problem.
And we'll see you October 16th and 17th. The first clinic for the track is August 15th.
Yeah.
So we'll see 15th or 22nd. We can see on the website www.allmaxfitnesschallenge.com. See you there.
See you there.